Many summers ago, a friend of mine rented a cabin on the lake and invited me to join her and some friends. We were there to relax and enjoy one another's company and fall asleep wonderfully exhausted from hours in the lake. On the last afternoon, the adults were cajoled by the kids to get in the water, and all of us were laughing and having a good time. The sun was getting lower in the horizon. Things started to calm down, and reaching the natural end of our last day in the water that week. When suddenly a 9-year-old yelled, "She's under the mat! She's under the mat!" After a moment to register what was happening, I jumped into action, yelling to my friend and swimming to the mat. My friend yanked the big mat hard and fast until her daughter's head popped up over the water line. Thankfully, she had a life jacket on and had held her breath, and due to a child's watchful eye and forceful call for action, she was back breathing air before any water hit her lungs. All of us adults were shaken because we knew how close it could have been to a very different result. Because even though all the kids had life jackets on, even though we were all right there, we'd forgotten just this one time of our role as caretakers. We let it slip that one adult needed to have the role of being the watchful eye. We implicitly assumed that someone else had it covered, or maybe worse, surmised that between all of us, we all had it covered. They warn you for this very reason to designate someone to watch the water, whose sole job it is to keep an eye out. Because if it's everyone's job, then in reality, it's no one's job. How often does this happen in life, where we just assume that a generic someone has it covered, or that a leader will step up to any level of need that arises, and that this leader is, of course, someone else and not us? Why do we think that we are insignificant parts of the system? Whether we attend a party or sit in the pews at church, why do we think that we don't play a significant role in what is happening? When we're engaged in a conversation, why do we think the listening role isn't of value? When we're out living our so-called ordinary lives, why do we think our role as a follower of Jesus is of little significance? Is it because we're always looking for someone else to lead? We believe that someone else must have it covered, or that somehow, collectively, it will be taken care of. Your role matters. In today's gospel readings of Matthew 5, Jesus reminds the disciples that what they do matters, that the life they live in the big and the small is important, that the example they set is crucial. He says, "Therefore, whoever breaks one of the least of these commandments and teaching others to do so will be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever obeys and teaches these commandments will be called greatest in the kingdom of heaven." What's Jesus asking of us here? To understand our role as kingdom builders in the group of humanity, to understand that following and teaching his ways matter, to step into that role and make a difference. Sounds like that to me. Praise you, Jesus. Amen.